All right, hello everyone. We are the Pratt team that got to work with OASIS Center International. My name is Laura. I was the client coordinator, and my major is communications with a concentration in advertising.
I'm Marlene, and my major is in and communications PR. I was the media content manager.
I'm Lonnie, and I'm the campaign schedule and book manager, and my major is communications with a concentration in entertainment and tourism.
I'm Evan. I have a major in communications with a concentration in public relations, and I was a strategy and research planner.
So the background on OASIS is that OASIS Center International is an organization that works to teach art to kids, especially those that come from a low-income household. Pratt team worked with OASIS to separate it from its competition and invite new publics to invest their time and money with it. We focused on expanding social media following, creating a Google ad policy, and creating a fundraising campaign. This is also OASIS's fourth semester working with Pratt team, and even hired 2 past students to work for it. For the client consultation, we had a meeting on September 8th with founder Jin Sung. She gave us access to her employees, Chris and Xiomara, and we agreed to meet once a week to discuss our progress and what was needed moving forward. For the organizational framework that we felt best fit OASIS is structural frame. OASIS is task-oriented and focused in how to affect change, and it focuses on strategies, goals that are measurable, making sure tasks are clear with set deadlines and creating systems and procedures. The communication theory that we felt best fits OASIS is the consistency theory. OASIS is explicit in its goal to remain consistent and avoid inconsistency in its values, beliefs, and actions. So for the SWOT analysis, we have determined that the strengths are that OASIS has effective communication about how the organization helps children learn art through different programs, strong relationships with schools all throughout Orange County, LA County, and Contra Costa County. It also has a very defined identity through its mission statement. For weaknesses, we determined that it has a lower social media presence than what the organization prefers and lower social media engagement compared to the amount of followers. For opportunities, we have found that it offers many different unique art programs that otherwise may be difficult to find elsewhere. It also has Spanish speakers on the board and allows it for a wider reach and audience, whether it be to donors, students, and/or families through social media posts and/or events. It also is able to promote fundraising campaigns to encourage more people to donate. For threats, we found that it's not the first Google result when searching the name OASIS, which could make it difficult to find the organization if someone is searching specifically for it. The COVID risk could make it difficult to hold art programs in person, which could lower the effectiveness of the classes. And the right audience may not see its social media posts, which could lower the audience's knowledge of the organization's existence. And now Evan is going to talk about the key publics and audiences.
So since OASIS is a nonprofit that's more about raising awareness and donations for programs for the youth, as opposed to buying a product for oneself, our campaign was targeted at those around the Orange, Contra Costa, and Los Angeles counties who are looking to support our local youth through the arts. OASIS generally gets most of its donations from large banks who are looking to meet an advocacy quota. However, after we had a meeting with OASIS, the organization informed us that in our giving campaign, we should look at targeting local donors who want to give back to their communities. During our research, we ultimately found that those who donate the most are within the $45,000 to $50,000 income level, which is about 4% of their annual income, and $55,000 to $60,000, which is about 3.7% of their annual income. We did research and discovered that in terms of psychographics, the most willing type of public that would be someone who is already interested in the fine and performing arts, who would want to give back and who would want to be able to share the same experiences they've got from the arts and give that to a child in need. And now we're going to be talking about our strategies, tactics, tools, and campaign goals.
Our first goal was to increase our Instagram following. So based on our research we realized that there were 4 most important strategies that we had to implement in order to achieve our goal. Strategy 1, we had to do a hashtag research to find the most relevant hashtags at the moment, making sure that they did not have more than 700,000 posts, because if that was the case, it meant the hashtag was oversaturated and whatever we used with that hashtag was just gonna get lost. Strategy 2 was engagement. We used the hashtags we found on our research and posted them with our posts. And the moment we did, we would engage with the hashtags for 15 to 20 minutes. Strategy 3 would be to content change. In order for people to want to stay and follow, we realized that we had to make the content more engaging. We took the content OASIS had, which was a lot of writing and a lot of texture in the picture itself, to something more like videos and pictures of like the actual children and the actual organization in action, keeping it a little more engaging and adding most of the writing in the description and caption itself. Strategy 4 would be to schedule posts. We helped with creating a weekly post schedule and posting 3 times a week based on our findings of the best times to post, according to what the analytics was telling us of when our followers were most active. This was important because it brought everything together and it made sure that we were staying consistent with our strategies and our implementation to actually create a growth within our Instagram account. Goal number 2, you can change it, Lani. Goal number 2 was to create a Google Ads policy that will help OASIS implement Google Ads for the future events, as well as eventually use it to help with paid growth of the Instagram. The strategy 1 with this was to actually create the Google Ads policy. The policy did not only show how to create the Google Ads step by step, but it also included stuff that would help us create the successful campaign. Strategy 2 was the implementation of the Google Ads. So actually putting them into action, creating the Google ad and making it work for our favor. It turned out that it was a little harder to do it, obviously in writing and then actually creating the Google ad, but with practice, it becomes an essential tool to have, especially for nonprofits, since they get something called the Google Ads fund. And it's something that they get to use to expand their reach and their awareness.
So now that we're looking at our campaign outcomes, we created Instagram content that would attract publics of all demographics, since OASIS is an inclusive organization, and Google Ads to support our year-end giving campaign, targeting those in the cities of Santa Ana, Martinez, Pittsburgh, Richmond, and Brentwood, as these are the communities that OASIS currently serves. We were able to create a Google ad policy as well as share our social media strategies with OASIS in order for the organization to recreate our work moving forward and recommend our ideas for how it should move forward once our work with the organization is complete. In our original plan for our campaign, we intended on creating a Google ad policy, creating Google ads, and creating new content for OASIS social media. In one of our client team meetings on October 25th, we learned that the organization wanted us to continue from one of our past predecessors' work and create a year-end giving campaign for it. So we took on that challenge, as well as creating a donation page for donors to visit in order to contribute to the organization. And now we're going to take a look at our measurement, assessment, and evaluation of success.
Instagram gives us an inside look at analytics. So we gathered the last 90 days worth of data to measure our success within our campaign. When we met with OASIS at the beginning of the semester, its account had 125 followers, and we agreed to take on the goal to increase its Instagram following by at least 20%. As it is apparent on the picture of the left, the overall growth of the account was 37 followers, which shows that the strategy we used to grow OASIS on Instagram succeeded. However, just showing one side of the analytics is not enough to prove that the strategy was effective. So by looking at the engagement analytics in the middle, it is important to see that our efforts to engage with our audience, as well as with a new audience to create awareness, gave great results. And engagement from other accounts went up 375%. Keeping in mind that this could have been a big spike because of the account not having a lot of engagement prior, but nevertheless, it's still a great increase. We can also see it helped us engage with more non-followers than followers, increasing awareness for OASIS. However, you can't measure awareness and success just with increasing in following. So we also gathered the analytics on the right for our reach. We were able to reach 2,946 new Instagram accounts that had never heard of OASIS before. This was possible because of the implementation of the strategies of hashtags and engagements. The analytics all helped us measure our success, but I think that most importantly, they helped measure the success of the strategies that were implemented to achieve these goals.
So before, for Oasis social media, you can see on the left their content, what their content used to look like before, and then on the right you can see what it looked like after, and what we worked on throughout the whole semester. Those are just a glimpse of some of the posts that we made. So we changed our content to more vibrant colors that are eye-appealing and not so wordy. For example, we provide the content to be more artsy and straight to the point while still getting details across in the captions. We also try to include videos as well that give you a glimpse of what goes on in their hip hop, dance, jazz, art, and other classes, so people can see and have an idea of what they try and teach. We try to make it more personal by introducing different instructors every week and switch the content so it's not just overfilled with text posts. So for future recommendations, below you can see 2 examples of how the new content uses real life pictures instead of stock images, and also uses pops of color, which allows it to stand out. A mix of both would be ideal and visually appealing to improve their overall feed. Having content that is very different every day and similar to each other in terms of design and layout would also help their Instagram and Facebook look very clean and colorful. Also, having original Canva designs that set them apart from others that might use Canva, and it gives them a more personal feel to the company. I mean, sorry, not the company. Having a engagement with hashtags when posting for at least 15 minutes, if you want to see more growth in followers or just want to bring more awareness to Oasis, but also making sure to do hashtag research at least once a month to stay on top of the most current hashtags, and engaging for 15 minutes when making the post if you want to see more growth in followers or just bring more awareness to Oasis as well. So thank you to Chris and Jen for giving us an opportunity to work with Oasis, and we hope you enjoyed our presentation. We appreciate the learning experience you've given us, and I'm sure we all learned from each other.